Hi, so this is our technology project, and we have third grade, and our technology is Desmos.
I'm Madeleine Nuehring.
And I'm Allison Dermody.
So what is Desmos? Desmos is a graphing calculator that is a web application and also a mobile app. It's written in TypeScript and JavaScript. Desmos does have a section for younger grades called Desmos Classroom, and this has free digital activities that students can use to practice their math skills.
So we have third grade, and our standard is 3.0A7. So this is to fluently multiply within 100 using strategies such as the relationship between multiplication.
Some misconceptions that students may run into is when multiplying, students ignore internal zeros. They may also use an approach that mimics addition by considering the tens and ones separately. And then they may also misinterpret the regrouped numbers in a multiplication problem.
So our lesson objective is the students will be able to multiply numbers by using various methods.
Supports for diverse learners. For diverse learners, we could print off vocab cards or make a PowerPoint that has the vocab words. All academic vocabulary that may be included could be included on these vocab cards or PowerPoint. And then to assist all students and make them engaged, they can use their tablets and model problems. They will dependently learn to be able to independently give peer support. And the exit ticket will show each student's capability. If the students need extra group, they can then have a one-on-one or work in a small group circle.
So the sequence of instructional strategies and learning tasks. So first we have the introduction. So first we'll start off with the definition of words. We'll use addition words, and then we'll move on to more repeated addition to segue into the peer assessment. And then for the peer assessment, we'll use whiteboards to do the peer assessment. We'll first model what the students will be doing. Next, we'll pass out the whiteboards, and then we'll have a question on the board, and the students will solve it on their whiteboards at their desk. And then the students will hold up their answer, and the teacher can see who got the answer right and who needs some more help.
The next stage is the development stage. So for multiplication, the students will be working on solving multiplication problems 0 to 10 multiplied by 0 to 10. During the development phase, students will try a problem that is presented to them by themselves at first. And then once everyone finishes their problem, they can turn and talk with a partner or partners to compare their answers. Students then may start to recognize some patterns within the multiplication problems. And then after they're done with their turn and talk, students will then raise their hands and get called on to explain how they got their answers, and they will explain it to the class.
So then we have the closure. The students will answer on the exit ticket, and it will have 2 multiplication problems, and they must show what strategy and then show their work. And then the teacher will use the exit ticket to see if the lesson was a success or if they need to go back and review more. And then after they're done with the exit ticket, the students will get to work on the activity and have some fun.
Some learning extensions. At the end of the lesson, multiplication flashcards can be sent home, or a worksheet that has similar challenging problems. And there are also many websites that can be used that have lesson problems that students can work on from their home.
So then we have our readiness groups. So for our first readiness group, we have separate the multiplication problems into 2 groups. Then our second readiness group is called match the equal groups. And then our third readiness group is one-on-one work with the teacher. So there is a Desmos activity that has this in there.
Okay, now on to the actual technology.
So this is just the link that is over here.
So as a student, you would go in and you would hit continue the activity. So for the first readiness group, this is going to be students that are ready for problems with products greater than 29 and also less than 29. So students are going to have their 2 separate sections, and then they're just going to simply drag the problem to whichever the product will fit under. So 8 times 2 is 16. So they would slide it over to less than 29. But also it lets you slide it over to either side so that if they were to maybe be struggling, the teacher will be able to go in and see that. So if they were to say that 6 times 10 is less than 29, it'll still just show up right under there. And now the teacher is going to be able to go in and see that, oh, maybe the student is struggling and they may need more support. The next readiness level is going to be for students who are ready to match multiplication equations to their arrays. So this one, they're just going to have the pictures of the arrays and they're going to drag their multiplication equation over to the array. And again, any answer can go with any array. So if the student is struggling, the teacher will be able to see that on their end. The last readiness level is for students who are ready to solve repeated addition equations and turn them into multiplication equations. So these students are going to work one-on-one or in small groups with the teacher, and they're going to be given specific equations, specific repeated addition equations. They're going to work to solve that and then also write the multiplication equation that goes with it.
So next we just have an anchor chart that we could have in the classroom for the students to look at, so they have some examples of what to do.
How are these worthwhile tasks? These multiplication activities are worthwhile tasks because there are different readiness group activities that help the students better understand their multiplication skills. This connects to Van de Waal because the activities help the students not just memorize, but they help the students understand the process behind multiplication. The activity also supports productive struggle because the questions are all random. So the students will need to know how to use the correct strategy to solve the problems.
So next we have some instructional considerations. So this activity connects to TPAC because students are learning a new technology that can better their learning needs. And the activities on Desmo should be given after the initial lesson as a review. And the students can use a whiteboard or paper to write out anything they need to solve during the activity. And then the exit ticket will work with 2 different multiplication problems, so the teacher can see if the students got it or they need a review.
Next, we have our exit ticket. This can be used as a summative assessment because it'll be a written worksheet at the end of the lesson. And then also another summative assessment that can be used is a unit test after they're completed with the whole unit. So this exit ticket is just 2 multiplication problems, and students are going to use any strategy they want to, but they do have to show their work to solve the multiplication problems.
Right, and that is it.
Thank you.